The nanobox razzmatazz is a powerful drum synth that combines both FM synthesis and sample-based approaches to building drums and rhythms for any style of music. This video will focus on triggering the razzmatazz from an external pad controller, using MIDI velocity to modulate pitch in real time, triggering slices, starting and stopping clips, and capturing incoming MIDI directly to the internal sequencer. I'm using a simple, affordable pad controller from Alesis, the SamplePad 4. However, you can use any controller that features MIDI output. The razzmatazz features 8 internal pads that can use FM synthesis, samples, or both. You can use the touchscreen or a MIDI controller to trigger the internal pads. From the home screen, push the left arrow button to access the config menu. Set the MIDI in parameter to match your controller. Once your controller is set up, load a preset to begin playing. Firmware 1.2 allows you to use incoming MIDI velocity to modulate pitch. In this setup, I have 4 djembe samples loaded to the bottom row of pads. 2 of these samples are configured to respond to velocity to modulate pitch, and the other 2 will play at their original sample pitch. To set up velocity to pitch, push the right arrow button twice on the pad you want to configure. Touch Setup. Using the top knob, scroll to Pitch Mod. Push the right arrow button to enter the modulation settings. Select velocity as the source and adjust the amount for the desired amount of modulation. Configure a pad to be a slicer. Load a sliced wave file. Navigate to the macro controls for that pad and set Slice Sequencer to forward. Now, when you send MIDI to trigger that pad, the slicer engine will play the first slice and advance to the next slice for every trigger. The Slice Sequencer offers forward, backward, stagger, and random. You can also set the slice manually using the slice control. Using the same MIDI notes programmed to trigger one-shots and slices, you can start and stop synced clips. This preset has 4 clips loaded to the bottom row that will start and stop in sync with the clock. First, touch the bar's beats counter in the upper right corner to navigate to the transport. Touch play to start the internal clock. Send MIDI to trigger the pads. The white bar indicates a clip is queued and ready to play at the start of the next bar. That bar will show the progress of the clip during playback and will turn gray to indicate the clip is queued to stop at the beginning of the next bar. From the home screen, push the home button 1 time to navigate to the Super Stepper sequencer. On an empty sequence, push the right arrow button 4 times to adjust the settings for that sequence. Touch the bars and beats counter in the upper right to navigate to the transport screen, enable the metronome, and start the internal clock. Return to the pattern screen. Send MIDI to the razzmatazz to enter notes into the sequencer. The razzmatazz offers massive analog drum sounds and an innovative feature set, all in a compact package that goes anywhere. For more information on the razzmatazz or any of our other products, please visit us at 1010music.com.